Welcome to life coaching. Now, in the last couple of weeks, we've been doing life coaching. We've done a lot of theory. We've spoken about the Tigro model and the different ways of using it in order to achieve our goals. We've spoken about who can have life coaching and who it's advisable not to have life coaching. And we've spoken about the Kaizen method, which is a wonderful way of setting tiny, tiny goals and eventually achieving your dream. So today we get to see a practical session. You get to see how life coaching works. So I've got Helen here who's building a business and has got a passion, and her passion is to create a holistic kind of center where children can have everything, where they can have music, they can have healthy environment, they can have healthy food, nutrition, everything. So everything is all focused in one center. So we looked at that last week. That is the passion, the big dream. And then we looked at bite-sized goals of how to actually help Helen create this center. Now remember, we talked about intuitive coaching as well as the Tigro model. So I thought with Helen it was a combination of things, using intuition and also keeping the goals very, very realistic and very, very Kaizen in order to get the commitment and to build it up, because it is such a massive dream. So how did you get on this week, Helen?
Well, I did a couple of the things because we talked about last time doing visualizations of the actual dream, passion, and I had set myself a goal of doing some research, and I'd managed to do, I would say, probably about I've managed to do probably about half an hour of research. Not as much as I said I would do, but I definitely started.
Great.
And I've thought a lot about the previous research I've done in the past this week. So it's been on the mind.
Fantastic. Do you want to remind us what your actual actions were for the week?
So my actions were to do research on my passions, which are sustainable communities and centres that are around the world, and probably more specifically in Europe, and centres which are working with nutrition, children, yoga, maybe art therapy and music, and basically research them.
And the second was to
visualise the actual
So you've
place.
done your actions for the week. Okay, so we've got half an hour session now, and everything we do is to move you closer to your goal. So I don't know if you remember last time, we looked at different options of different things that you could do in order to help you. So how would you like to use the next 30 minutes? Because I also asked you on a scale of 1 to 10, how passionate or how close were you going to be able to do this? And you said an 8.
Yes.
Remember? So how is it growing? Is it becoming closer to a 10 now?
I think it is. I think it is actually, because I've seen maybe a few more potential ways in which I can start to volunteer at the centres, and maybe in that way, maybe it isn't a centre that I will own immediately, but I will start slowly by basically working in the centre.
So you feel already, just from one life coaching, your intake session, you're already closer to achieving that dream, which is amazing. To say we've only done one session to keep you a little bit focused on visualizing, because that was very good for you, and on actually creating that action of doing a bit of research. Okay, so we've got 30 minutes for this session. What would you like to do today in order to get you closer? Even closer.
I think I'd probably like to look at the side of the actual logistics of how it would fit into my life, the volunteering and the sort of places in the world that maybe I've found, how that would fit into my life as it currently stands.
Okay.
Financially and time-wise, like, I guess some sort of time frame
Okay, so in order to make this happen for you in half an
Mm.
hour, in order to come out with a set of actions that are going to lead you towards this, can you put that into a sentence to make it focused?
I would like, yeah, I would like to have some sort of schedule for the next year, year and a half.
Okay, we'll put that down. So you'd like to have a schedule. You see, by creating this focused goal, it's a lot easier for us to set actions that are realistic in order to actually achieve whatever this is, and then eventually getting to achieve our dream. So once we've achieved each action, we're moving on, and before you know it, you've got your passion, which for Helen is to create the center of this holistic place. Okay, so
Yeah.
do you want to read that out to us?
I would like to have a schedule for the next year and a half for volunteering and working in different centres.
Okay, so again, I'm going to keep you focused. You've got 30 minutes, and obviously I'm not putting pressure on you here, but it's nice to be able to create something from this. So what can we do to help you create something even more realistic so that by next week you're closer to doing this? How are you going to do this in half an hour?
I would say it would be good to just write down the list of the countries, list of potential time frames that I could do, and potential ways financially volunteering.
Okay, so shall we make a list then
Yeah.
of what you just said? So you want to make a list of countries.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
A list of different time frames that I could spend in them.
Okay. This is for the year.
Yeah.
Okay, and what else?
So perhaps different ways in which I can either work or volunteer. So whether it's part volunteer, part work, or totally volunteering. Maybe.
Okay, do you want to write that down?
Volunteering.
Okay.
Or working.
And this is going to help you create a schedule for a year. Okay. So what can you do then? What can you do this week that is realistic and is going to help you get closer to achieving this?
So I suppose looking at the areas, the countries that we've just talked about, and seeing which countries it is exactly, and how many different areas there are in each of the countries.
So do you want to choose that first one to work on this week rather than the 3?
No, I think I'd like to do all 3.
You'd like to work on all 3? Okay. So how are you going to do this? So would you like to have a look at the week? Because I think what worked really, really well for you last week is we drew a calendar and we looked at the week and we looked at the time that you have, and also because you were sitting on the train, you felt you had time to work and to do your...
I feel like I need to make a list of the countries and then maybe for each country, maybe do it each day, country a day.
Okay, we'll draw a calendar then.
Yeah.
Because you see, Helen's very visual, and we feel that by drawing the calendar, she sees the week in front of her. This is a really, really good method. If you're visual, we have, as we talked about modalities, and we talked about some people are more visual, more auditory. If you see things, if you close your eyes and the first thing with you is you see rather than you hear things or feel things, then you're more visual. So drawing a calendar and dividing it up into the days, Helen is able to look at where the time is for her to actually do this action. So
So I've just written Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
I've got America, Australia, Europe, because I know those are the three primary
Right.
places that I've found.
Okay. So 3 different countries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll also write in Africa, India. So I suppose I'm more looking at continents.
Okay. So we're looking
then,
at continents at the moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then some specifically. I think that's probably the countries.
Okay. So do you think it's realistic for you to look at a different continent every from Monday to Friday?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
I might put South America in.
How are you going to look?
So it's going to be predominantly the internet, and it's going to be a case of seeing each country and the centres that are in each country.
Okay, so literally Googling.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many hours do you want to give to this, to each
I
continent?
say half an hour.
Half an hour for each continent?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's very realistic. You see, it's a realistic goal to be able to go on the internet. You see, we have to keep our goals very realistic and know that we can achieve them as much as possible. So Helen's going to take half an hour from Monday to Friday to look at the different continents and see where these centres are, so you can get a better idea. Excellent. Half an hour a day. Okay.
Yeah.
And what else would you like to be able to do?
So within that, I'm going to look at the options for volunteering and working, the options for the different time frames within those centres, look at obviously where they are, and the sense of how realistic it is to get experience in those places.
So you're going to do these 3 things at the same time?
Yeah.
You feel within half an hour?
Yes.
Do you feel that's enough time to do those 3 actions?
Well, it might be just a case of finding one centre, you know. It might not be more than one centre that I find.
So because you're very visual, I'd ask you to take out another piece of paper and to write on there, say Monday, for example. Okay. And then underneath, write the different topics, the different ways you're going to approach this. So you've got country. Then leave a bit of space. Then different time frames. So again, I'm going to ask you, is half an hour enough for you to do some research around these? Or do you need more than half an hour?
Well, I think to start off with, it's a good start.
Okay, because you are going to, first of all, you've got to, just to be realistic, you're going to have to go onto the internet, you're going to have to find the place, and then you're going to have to find out what the different time frames are. Can you explain a bit more about the different time frames?
Yeah, sure. So whether I can do 1 week there, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months.
From what's on the internet at the moment?
On the internet,
okay, so you've got to get on the websites, and then you've got to find out whether they take volunteers.
Yeah.
So it's just a general idea, really, to get you closer.
Yeah.
So you do feel half an hour will be enough?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, and once you've done this, every day, Helen, Monday to Saturday, this will help you get closer to have a schedule for the next year and a half of volunteering and working in different countries.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so this will be your actions. Now, what about times? When are you going to do this? When will the half an hour be?
I suppose, let's see, generally it will be the evening.
Okay, so do you want to write that down?
Yeah.
So what time Monday evening?
I think, let's see.
Do you know what's happening with your Mondays?
Yeah, probably around 5. 5 would be good.
So you'll be home by 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so if you put the time in there, so you're committing. So is that every day at 5 o'clock?
No, because I won't be home at 5 every day. So Tuesday probably be 6.
Okay.
Wednesday could be 5. Thursday probably won't be evening. Probably have to be during the day on Thursday.
Okay.
I've got a very busy day, so
will you have enough time on Thursday?
might not have enough time on
Okay,
Thursday.
we'll maybe just put a question mark there.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're doing very well. You've got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
And Friday, it would have to be the afternoon. It would have to be something like 2
Okay.
p.m.
Okay.
One or two anyway.
And Saturday?
Can't do on Saturday.
Okay, well you did put half an hour
I
there.
did.
So that's fine, we'll just scrap it then because
Yeah.
you've got plenty to do. When you look at it now, you have got plenty to do.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to be using, because I know that Helen lives in a place where the internet is not always very strong.
Yes.
I'm again going to ask you the question because it's here for me to
Yeah.
help you. Are you sure that half an hour is going to be long enough by the time you get on the internet and everything?
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be
Yeah.
long enough to get
Because
you on
I
the
can
internet.
always use the internet at my parents' house.
Okay.
So I could, drive over to them.
Okay. So how committed are you to doing the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday? Which is will be wonderful if you can do that.
Yeah, I'm committed.
You're totally able
Yeah,
to do that.
Totally, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so that will be your main action.
Yeah.
And how about the visualization? Because it would be really good for you.
I
because
do that pretty much every day.
Right.
Naturally, as I'm just going about my everyday things. So I think, I think that'll be quite easy.
Because you're very visual.
Yeah.
The more you visualize, the more it's becoming real.
Yeah.
Is this working? Do you feel that your goal is getting closer
Totally,
now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me, I basically have difficulty in sitting down and working out the steps.
Yes.
So for somebody to sit down with me and actually talk to me about the steps, because I've been wanting to do this for ages, but I was like, oh, now I've kind of realised, I have to do that before I can get to the schedule, because I kept thinking, I want to do this schedule, it's really annoying, but there was like this kind of step, and I didn't quite know what was involved in the step.
Okay.
And now I've talked to you, it's like, oh, okay, I just need to sit down and decide which countries.
Okay.
And then when I've looked at the countries, it will make it a bit more clearer.
That's right. And then when it comes to the next session, we can look at how that went.
Yeah.
And then we can take it from there. And you'll be surprised sometimes, because you're going to be doing your research and you're going to be finding out so much stuff when you're working on your dreams and your goals. Things might change. You might start out with this idea and you may suddenly think, oh, hang on a second, maybe I need to do it a bit like this, or you just don't know what's going to happen. That is the amazing thing about life coaching. The minute you start to get yourself to be able to be coached, your mind starts to open up and you start thinking laterally, and people will start coming into your life and you'll be amazed. So much will start to happen.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. So is there anything else that I can help you with before we end the session?
No, I don't think so.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to doing these actions?
I'd say an 8.
An 8, okay, which is brilliant. We'll put that down.
Yeah.
And would you be able to email me once you've done them? Because that's also, I find, I have life coaching myself, and I'm very good once I say that, I want to commit to someone. And a life coach is someone you can commit to, someone who will inspire you. I know that Helen is going to achieve her goal. I know how passionate she is, and I know how suitable she is for this goal and this dream. And that's my job, is to keep her inspired, or to keep people inspired. And I have life coaching because without life coaches, I couldn't carry on doing what I'm doing with my work, with moving on TV and moving on theatre and staying inspired. And one of the things that really works for me is after the session, I email myself and I email my coach exactly what I'm going to do. I break it down and I say, this is what I'm going to do and this is what I commit to. But life happens, and again, if someone cannot do the actions, it's not the end of the world, because they're already starting to think differently. But I would challenge them and say, okay, how can we help you here? How can we make it easier so that you can actually achieve it? So thank you very much, Helen.
No problem.
And I look forward to coaching lots of other people. Now you've seen how a practical session works. Please contact me at Laurene, Laurene, at movingontv.uk. Go on our website, which is www.movingontv.uk, and contact us. And if you want to come on and do life coaching here, that's fine. If you want to work with me, I work with Skype or by phone, and we can discuss how, payments according to everyone. Everyone is different, so we have a scale of payments. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Hey guys, welcome to Moving On TV. How are you today? Right, you saw there a coaching session, which I'm hoping helps you move on. It's like I've got my combat gear on today. Look, hockey. I've just done a massive interview with Jonathan Tilt from the Freedom Alliance, which I'm going to put on BitChute. I'm going to put a news flash first. I'm in a lot of pain today, guys. I think it's a healing crisis and there's no sun. And it's a healing crisis because I had a huge tuning session yesterday on my heart chakra. And I'm in a lot of pain today. I can hardly move the neck and shoulders. So the ecstatic dance today, apart from all the meows and purrs and the cat's music, is going to focus a lot on the heart chakra and the whole of the of relaxation, as well as moving around and dancing, but a lot of gentle work as well, because I just don't feel that I can do a lot more than that today. So, but join us. The music will be on. You can do whatever you want. Anyway, we're at coaching at the moment, and I don't know if anyone is on here, but I could see some viewers. But how can I help you achieve your goals if you're not coming on and telling me what you want to achieve? So, yeah. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. So if you want help with achieving your goals, you need to come on here. Or you need to email Moving On TV telling me what your goal is. But I want to look today at why don't we achieve? Why don't we move forward? Are there patterns that keep repeating themselves? What is the pattern that keeps repeating itself? Right. Now, I want to look at a couple of things. I want to look at moving on the three things that I'm putting all my energy into, which is moving on TV, moving on theatre, and my new tarot channel, which I'm not going to tell you about. And I've only been doing the tarot channel since the 28th of February, so not even a month now. But I did set a goal that I was going to do 10 tarot readings, and I did 17 readings. I've done 17 readings. 17. I've done 17 readings, and they're all gone on, and some of them are scheduled or premiered. I can't say what the channel is because I don't want the trolls on there, but it's a new tarot channel. But already my mind is saying to me, you haven't got, why is your subscribers not growing? What's going on? And I haven't even, but the thing is, you got to remember, there are millions of tarot readers out there. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of channels out there now doing tarot like me. And they're very good. And I'm no different. I'm no different. And I cannot find an angle to make me any different. There is no angle to make me different. All right. So the mind is coming in, and this is why we fail. All right. The mind is coming in with all these thoughts saying, oh, you're not getting the viewers, you're not getting the subscribers. You try these things called sprizzy, and don't. It's just a complete waste of time. I mean, yeah, you get the views, but you don't get any subscribers. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing at the moment. So I don't know what this sprizzy is. I'm looking into all these ways. Years ago, if you wanted to get extra subscribers, you could do it on people per hour, but they don't do it anymore. And that's how I got loads and loads of support for Moving On Theatre when we went to Edinburgh. It started off with that, and then it grew and grew and grew through the shows. But if you want to boost to your work subscribers, I haven't got a clue yet how to do that. And so what we're going to look at now is I want to look at the patterns that repeat themselves. Okay, so I did 17 readings this week. I committed to 10, and I've done 17 because I love it. I've set myself up a table. I've got all my tarot cards. I'm not thinking about, am I earning or not? I'm just enjoying it. And so I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep doing that on a daily basis. Now, when I look at the other tarot readers, they're doing the same every single day. They're doing readings every single day for about a year. Every single day for about a year. And now they're starting to get subscribers and more views. You got someone on there, she's got 400,000 views a day. And she doesn't do anything more than I do. So I'm questioning, how did she do that in a year? How did she jump to 400,000 in a day? I don't know. The only way you could do that is if Sprizzy is, this is views, all right? Sprizzy is promising you 1,000 views for £35, all right? So to get 10,000 views, you need £350. £350 for 10,000 views, all right? And then 10,000 views might bring you in what? 10 subscribers, maybe. I don't know. People just don't subscribe. The only way I'm looking at when they subscribed to Moving On TV was when I brought on Charlie Ward. I brought on Charlie Ward. I got nearly 500 subscribers. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. Lee Dawson, David Mahoney. You guys subscribed, and that was it. That was it. You subscribed for Charlie Ward programs and for the truth, and that's it. No one subscribes anymore. I'm losing my subscribers on Moving On TV all the time. I'm not growing at all. Not growing at all. I'm giving away everything for free, and people came on. You saw 14 people came on the ecstatic dancing. People come on sometimes for the tarot readings. They're not subscribing. Have you guys subscribed? Whoever's watching, there's some of you on here. Have you subscribed? If not, why not? It's like we give for free, and you're just takers. You're takers then if you're not subscribing. You're just takers, right? You just take and take and take. To subscribe helps me to grow, right? I don't know what to say if you don't subscribe. It's a bit sad. It's annoying and it's depressing, and it shows me how selfish you all are if you watch the programs and you don't subscribe. All right, maybe the four of you are already subscribed on here, but how do you grow, guys? How are you expected to grow? So I'm not monetizing moving on TV, right? So it's hard for me to grow a channel that is not monetized because there's no adverts except my own adverts. You see, you're leaving because you don't want to listen. You might learn something here. You might learn if you stick on here, because I'm trying to teach you how to grow your work. And so what I'm saying is I'm not monetizing moving on TV. However, I want to monetize my tarot channel, but I can't monetize it not until I've got 1,000 subscribers. And that's what YouTube does. You have to have 1,000 subscribers before they'll monetize you. They have no interest of trying to get you adverts or anything until you've got 1,000 subscribers. So why do we fail then? Why don't we move on? So I'm looking at, here you are. If you want 10,000 subscribers with Sprizzy, you're going to have to pay 350, no, viewers, sorry. 10,000 viewers, you're going to have to pay £350 to Sprizzy. £350 to get 10,000 views. That's not subscribers. From 10,000 views, from 1,000 views, I didn't get not one subscriber. 1,000 people went through my channel. I got some good comments, some nice comments, especially on the video. They told me to keep going. They encouraged me, but they don't subscribe. Why? They encourage you, but they will not subscribe, because there are millions of channels out there. There are hundreds and thousands of channels, not like Moving on TV, that specializes a TV station. But this tarot channel, no one's subscribing. Now, why are we not casting encounters? Why are we not moving forward with encounters? Why are we not getting grants? Why are these things not working? Now, the reason I think these things are not working is because if we take one at a time, as I said, Moving on TV, you would subscribe. The people I got subscribing were those who watched Charlie Ward and Know the Truth. Now, guess what? So let's look at Moving on TV. Why am I not growing? Okay. Moving on TV is the truth, was the truth. Used to be. Used to be the truth, okay? And that's where I got, Charlie and all the truthers. And that's when I got my 1,000 subscribers, okay? Now I get wiped off if I put it on YouTube. I'll get wiped off. I'll get wiped off for the truth. So no one's subscribing. No one is subscribing. I'm giving them comedy. I'm giving them entertainment. I'm giving you life coaching. You're giving hypnotherapy. You're giving mind, body, spirit. They're not subscribing. No one's interested. I don't think they get that this is a TV station. It's not a channel. And it's going to take longer for Moving on TV to grow. Okay? So I got my subscribers from people that were I was showing them the truth. I got 1,000 from when I had David Mahoney and Charlie on and John Wedger. That's when people joined. Now, if I could put on truth videos, then my subscriptions will be growing like anything. But I'm not allowed to, because YouTube is completely censored now. I'm not allowed to, all right? So let's have a look at the new channel, my tarot channel, all right? Okay, I haven't even been going for a month, so there's no point even checking it yet. But I got about 2,000 views with Sprizzy and another one. It's called V-Fly, and I wouldn't go on it. They're liars. They say for $10 you're going to get 1,000 views. You don't. You get 100 views. They're liars. They're not giving you what you are paying for. So I need to look into that. But what I'm saying, I've had about 2,000 views on my, because I did Sprizzy and stuff like that. And I also went and I've got 65 subscribers, all right? And I need 1,000. 65 came from people per hour, I think. But that's it. I haven't had anyone else. I've been putting on programs every single day since the 28th of February. So it's only a couple of weeks. Yeah, I need to give it time. I'll come back to you with that one in 6 months. All right. So if I want to get, say, in 6 months, I want to get my subscribers in 6 months to monetize. This is going to take time to grow because there are hundreds of thousands of tarot readers. Now, the mind wants to say, don't bother. Okay? Don't bother. Don't bother. The mind is saying, don't bother. Don't carry on. Don't bother. But I'm enjoying it. I've just got a new oracle deck. I love it. I love my readings. I enjoy it. I can read for myself. I can read for the energies. I can, and hopefully at some point I'll also get some work from it and earn some money. So every day I get on there and boom, 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 boom. I do about 1 to 3 a day. And so I did 17 this week. 17. Every single zodiac signs and other stuff. Okay, so perseverance. Remember? Perseverance. So give yourself a time scale. Say, okay, for 6 months, I'm going to give it everything. For 6 months, you give it everything. Give it everything. Sorry, Matthew, what's happening here? For 6 months, you want to give it your all. You give it everything. And 6 months, you give it your all. That's what I'm going to do with this new channel. I'm going to do readings every single day, every single day. Hopefully, I'm going to get new tarot cards if I can find them cheap enough. I'm going to make up my own stuff. And then I'm going to do that every single day now for 6 months. And then I'll let you know how many subscribers I've got and what's happening. Because there's no point thinking about it for at least 6 months. This is a new business. It's a new channel. And people, there are loads of them. Not only that, I'm going to set myself a goal this week, and that is research. How to grow your channel, right? There's loads of stuff. How do you grow? I'm going to set that as a goal. How to grow my channel on YouTube. How to grow my channel on YouTube, right? There is a goal. Okay, now that is the most important thing to me at the moment because I have to earn a living. And I can't work anywhere because of the way we're living. As you know, I'm not prepared to bow down to anything, so I'm not able to work anymore at the moment. Now, my second goal I set was to interview a truther. And of course, that's going to go on BitChute, and it's ready. It's ready. It's done. It's done. So I'm going to get a news flash on BitChute with Jonathan Tilt from the Freedom Alliance. A really quick news flash, and then the whole interview will go on there about what he's doing, why he's doing it, how you can get involved, yada, yada, yada. I did it. I forgot that I put that on as a goal, and I did it. I interviewed a truther. I interviewed him. My subconscious knew that I had a goal to achieve this week. I've done it. I've done it, right? Then I had another goal, was encounters, to cast it. So we had a chat between us, and we decided that Emmanuel is going to try and bring on 2 singers from his church. And he's got till Wednesday to talk to them. Two singers from his church for encounters. So I've handed it over. And also, I'm going to start to make friends that are truthers. I'm going to talk to them at some point to cast it within the people that are the same as us. I don't want anybody on encounters that isn't in the vibration that we are on. We're all on the same vibration, more or less. Open-minded, freedom, whatever, is the most important thing to us. And so we don't want people on there that don't believe in that. You know, they only leave. They look at movie on TV and they run a mile. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to put another video on for you with coaching because I've got to edit the news flash and get it on BitChute. Right, this is life coaching. Explain to you what life coaching is.
So
So
I'm
I'm
Lauren,
Lauren,
and I'm
and
very
I'm very
happy to
happy
be
to be
presenting this new series about life coaching and how to achieve your dream life. When I say your dream life, it doesn't have to be to have that villa in Spain or to create a theatre company like I do, or even a TV station. Your dream life could be, I want to get on better with my children. It could be, I'd like to give up smoking. It could be anything. It's up to you what you want your life to be like. And that's why when I say creating your dream life, I don't want you to think that you've got to be reaching for the stars and the moon. It's whatever it means to you. So anyway, what does life coaching mean, and why am I presenting this to you? Life coaching, as I said in the introduction, used to be mainly for celebrities and sports stars and athletes and people that really wanted to reach serious goals. However, in the last 10 years or so, it's become something that's accessible to anyone. Luckily to me, someone who actually trained as a life coach nearly 10 years ago, and it's completely changed my life because luckily, thanks to the training, I get life coaching for free forever. And I could not be running Moving On Theatre or Moving On TV without it, because I have such big dreams and I am so not grounded. Like a lot of us, Some of us are too grounded, some of us are not very grounded. I'm not very grounded, and I'm learning through life coaching how to become more grounded, how to live in reality, and how to achieve my dreams through setting steps. And that's what we do. So it's for everyone. So if you're watching this, I want you to know that this is for everyone. And I can promise you that if you do use these techniques, your life will change completely. So what is life coaching and what it isn't? This is really important to understand. A lot of people think that life coaching is counseling or mentoring, but it isn't. What is life coaching and what is counseling and what is mentoring? The first most important thing that it is not counseling, okay? Counseling deals with the past. Counseling deals with your story. And sometimes we're stuck in a story that keeps going on and on and on. You know what I mean? Where you just can't get out of it. Whatever it means to you or to me. Now, counseling is wonderful, don't get me wrong. And a lot of the time, before you start to be coached by a life coach, you may need to go through some counseling, okay? Because you need to give yourself that time to release the past and the stories that are going on and on in our heads. Because with life coaching, we only use the past for one reason, and that is as a springboard into a better future, okay? Now, I use life coaching and counseling, and I feel that it works very, very well for myself. Because there are sometimes issues that need to be dealt with, and we do live in a chaotic world. And counseling is very, very good to be able to sit in front of a person and talk about that issue, and talk about it and get it out of you and come to terms with it. But the only way you can have life coaching as well is if you create a separate space, a totally separate space, where you're going to move on with whatever it is you want to achieve in life. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, maybe go into it more, is how can we combine counseling and life coaching, okay? So we can do that, but only if you are in the space to give yourself that time to let go of whatever issues you're dealing with the counseling. Because a life coach will not work with you if you keep talking about your problems and your issues, okay? Now, obviously in the assessment or the intake session, that we call it, you will have to tell the life coach what's happened, because they need to get to know you and they need to build rapport with you and everything. But that's it. The first session will be an intake session, an assessment, and you will tell them about the things that haven't worked so far, about your comfort zones and about things that you really want to work on. But as I say, if you want coaching, that will be it. Your life coach will keep bringing you back and saying, we're moving on into better things in life by leaving the past behind. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing life coaching isn't is mentoring, because your life coach is not your mentor. Your life coach is a guide, and they're there to help you to find ways of moving you on, but they're not going to tell you how to do it. And that's why it's so incredible. That's why life coaching is really, really impressive, because the more you do it and the more you trust in your coach and develop that relationship and that rapport, your mind will start to open up more and more and more. Your wisdom will come in more, and your inner guidance, and you will be able to create amazing new goals and amazing new ways of achieving that dream that's up there somewhere. And that's why it's so beautiful that your life coach will not tell you what to do. However, they will have some kind of experience or professional way of knowing, because a lot of the time you'll get a life coach that fits you, you know. So for example, if I was coaching someone who wanted to get into the theatre, then I would be perfect, obviously, because I have a lot of experience and I would know what questions to ask. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say at the moment about life coaching and using a particular coach or a niche. But coming back to counselling, as I said, you can have counselling and life coaching. They do work together as long as you're able to let go of the story and the past. But there is one thing, there are certain people that may not be able to do that, and the coach will say that to them, that's what the assessment is for. Now, as I said, the second thing is mentoring. So we have counselling, one thing, we have life coaching, and we have mentoring. Mentoring is when you copy someone, when they tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you do what they say. Life coaching is not mentoring, because that coach is going to give you the chance to open up inside and find your own ways of reaching that big goal up there. So just to summarize again, today, life coaching, counseling, mentoring, 3 different things that can work really well together if you can give them the space, okay? So life coaching, you can work with counselling if you can give yourself the space to have the counselling and then come fresh into life coaching to move on. Mentoring can work very well, but not with your coach. There is an opportunity for you to maybe find someone who you think has achieved the dream you've achieved, and they can be your mentor, and you can just copy the steps that they did and achieve the same goal. So you can use them all together. But that will be up to your coach. Every coach is different, and you would have an assessment with them. That's the first session, and they will decide whether they want you to work with them if you're still having counselling. So that's an individual thing. That's an agreement you will have with your coach. So that's it really for this session. I've explained a lot about this, and as I said, the contraindications of those who it would not be advisable for them to do life coaching yet, because they may need to deal more with the past, and once they let go of the past, they're ready. But this will be dealt with in your intake session, in your assessment. Once we start to do some practical work on here, you will see an assessment and you will see how it works, and that's how the coach and the coachee build rapport, which is very, very important. So that's it for this session. You may need to watch it a few times to get the gist of those 3 different aspects that we spoke about. And I shall speak to you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Hello there. Welcome back to Life Coaching with Lauren and Achieving Your Dream Life. As we explained before, it's what's important to you. Now, we had an introduction. We talked about life coaching, what it is and what counseling is and what mentoring is and how you can try to work together. Today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it's changed my life. 10 years ago, I trained as a life coach. And since then, I have been working with incredible, inspirational people from all over the world on Skype and over the phone, helping me to create my dreams and helping me to create a realistic dream. So initially, we have this passion. So my passion was to have this theatre company called Moving On Theatre. That's the big dream. You start off with this massive dream where I want to be performing everywhere, singing, acting, doing what I love. Now that can't be created in a day, not usually. So what we do with life coaching is we learn how to achieve it by being very realistic and having the steps to get there. And for that, we use a model. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the T-Grow model. Don't always think that you have to use this all the time because we're all different. But today I'm just going to give you a general idea of what the T-Grow model is. T is the topic or the dream. So like I say, you have this big dream. You may want to retire and have a villa in Spain. Okay, so that's your big dream. You may want to pass your driving test. That's your big dream. You get the gist. The topic is the big dream. The second is the G, which is the goal. Your goal is what I would like you to go away with at the end of the session. So, for example, you've got half an hour session. I say to you, what would you like to achieve by the end of this session that is bringing you closer to achieving that villa in Spain, that giving up smoking, that being, having an easier relationship with your children, whatever. And that's what you say. You say, well, by the end of this session, I would like to achieve more understanding about properties in Spain, for example. That is up to you. That's your goal for the session. You have half an hour. And we don't always set that. It's not always cut in stone. Again, it depends on the person, but it's nice to know that we have some kind of structure. The next thing we have is the reality and the resources, okay? And that is when I ask you, what support system have you got? Have you got people supporting you? So say you want to move to Spain. Have you got people you can talk to about? Is your husband or your partner or your children, are they supporting you with moving to Spain and buying a villa? What about money? This is all about pulling in your resources and your reality, okay? Because as I said to you, it's all about being grounded in reality, okay? So then we move on to options and we make a list of all the different ways that we can find out how we're going to achieve this goal. And that's the fun bit, because your mind starts to open up. And it's like brainstorming. You get out a piece of paper and you're writing down, oh, I'd love to move, and I'd like to move maybe in a year, or I can get money from here, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You're writing and writing, and it's all coming out and your mind's opening up, okay? And then you've got the W, which is your willingness. And this to me is the most important part of the session, because you're committing to yourself and to your life coach what you're going to do by the next session. And you can make a list and say, well, I'm going to do these 5 actions or 3 actions. 1, I'm going to go on the internet and I'm going to check out villas in Spain. It doesn't matter. You come up with the actions, and the willingness is there on paper. And your life coach will say to you, okay then, Lauren, or okay, whoever it is we're coaching, okay, so you're going to go on the internet when? And you give a date, a time, and that's your commitment to your life coach, okay? And that's when you come back for the next session with that life coach, they will make you accountable for that and ask you if you did it. If you did it, that's brilliant. They will look at that. If you didn't do it, that's no problem at all, because you're working towards this, okay? You're willing to do it, and that's a big thing. And that's the Tigro model. Now on the other side, interestingly enough, the right side of the brain, I don't know why I did that, but also because the right side of the brain is the creative, because everyone is different. When you do your intake session or your assessment with your coach, they may decide to work differently because their intuition will kick in. And once they start to get to know you, they may think, well, actually, Lauren doesn't work very well with structure. How about we just see what happens? So we say, okay, your dream is, boom, I want to win the lottery. Fine, there's your dream. Okay, but maybe we don't set a goal for the session. We just explore, okay? And that, again, will work beautifully. And I can promise you that when the coach says to you after the end of your session, have you achieved what you wanted? Are you any closer to your goal? They will say yes, because somehow their mind will have opened up a little bit and they will be closer to their goal. So that's it. So today we've discussed the Tigro model, and we've also discussed intuition and create a creative way of coaching, which is more right-sided. And interestingly enough, I did actually do that, and that I didn't plan to, but it happened. And in the next session, when I come back again, in the next episode, we will be actually watching life coaching session. But before I go, I just need to say one thing. Life coaching is about passion. If you don't have any passion, then you can't achieve your dreams. If you have passion, it's more important than money and support. It's more important than anything. Believe me, because I started with nothing and I still don't have a lot of money, but I'm running my own TV station. When you are passionate and you believe in your heart that that's what you want, you can achieve anything. So I would recommend you get this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a wonderful book, and it's basically written by an amazing guy that talks about passion and persistence and focus. Because without passion, persistence and focus, you cannot achieve your dreams. There'll always be a comfort zone that you'll be stuck in, or there'll always be, I had to do this, I had to do that. Your life coach will always make you accountable for being there at least once a week or once every 2 weeks to do the session with them, because you won't move on if you don't do that. It's not about money. It's not always about money. It's about your passion, your commitment, your focus, your tenacity, which is much more important, believe me. Coming from someone who runs Moving On Theatre and now has started a TV station, passion is everything. It will get you out of bed in the morning. And I'll leave you with another little thought. The past is history. The future a mystery. The present is a gift. We unwrap it with glee. So that's what life coaching is. It's focusing in the present. Focusing in the present. That's what it is. We let go of the past. We don't worry about the future. It'll take care of itself. We're in this moment. And I hope you're in this moment with me with a lot of passion. I look forward to speaking to you in the next episode, where we will be coaching someone in front of you and showing you an intake session. Thank you.